While election candidates from the same party are fighting each other over preferential votes, we received this interesting report on two candidates from Kurunegala who set aside party differences.
This footage was captured on our camera this morning in Palasa on the Kurunegala Kandy Road. A vehicle carrying United National Party candidate for the Northwestern Provincial Council, Ruben Silva, had stalled on the road as a result of a technical fault. Lakshman Vedaruwa, United People's Freedom Alliance candidate for the Northwestern Provincial Council, had later arrived at the location. The vehicle jerked and then stalled here. We tried to give it a push start, it did not work. I sent a message home asking them to send the other vehicle. In the meantime, they arrived here. When we saw the speed that these three vehicles were travelling at, we were prepared to jump the fence and run. Ruben was a fellow councillor with me in the last provincial council. Ruben and I are also engaged in the same bus enterprise. So there is no politics or party divisions involved here. When someone is in trouble, we have to help them. Subsequently, Ruben Silva's vehicle was towed to Kurunegala. Meanwhile, former Minister Imtiaz Bakir Markar says that it is a responsibility of the rulers to bring forth a singular Sri Lankan nation. He made this statement at an event held in Beruwala recently.
The event was held to grant scholarship to students in Beruwala.
We need to think as Sri Lankans. We need to think as one Sri Lankan family. If public representatives in the country begin to think that each is a representative of Muslims or Buddhists or any other community, then where will we be taking this country? This is enough. Enough setting the nation on fire. Enough lives have been destroyed in this nation. Enough disabled have been brought forth in this nation. We must make sure that the fires are not lit again. These arsonists who carry out insightful acts and preach hate are a minority in the society. The majority of this country are understanding. They behave and act with understanding. They act with patience. We must protect this no matter who it is that commits a crime. Be they Muslim, Sinhalese or Buddhist, the law must be enforced. If the rulers are silencing the law, then that is where the problem lies. That is where the danger lies.
The visiting French Senator of ON, Nathalie Goulet, convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
It appears that we have no friendship group in the Senate with Sri Lanka. And so we thought that maybe it would be a good idea to establish or restore the link between our two parliaments. And that is very useful for both countries. So that was the main target of this trip.
Responding to a question posed by a journalist, Nathalie Goulet had this to say.
It's not the role of the member of the parliament, and especially not mine, to interfere in internal affairs of a country, especially the first time I'm traveling. We have to be very careful because the situation, sometimes words could be terrible and make a very bad effect, and sometimes you are saying things without knowing the full meaning of everything, and you have to be very careful. So I think that first of all, the first time as I'm guest of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, the target of the trip was to know the country and have a first idea about that, and to bring some and try to bring some of my colleagues to work for a better relationship between our two countries.
Meanwhile, the visiting French senator met with President Mahinda Rajapaksa at the presidential residence in Kandy. During the meeting, the French senator had said that she hopes to educate the world on Sri Lanka's approach to development and peace. Now, Senator Gule noted that a number of countries and groups have made remarks about Sri Lanka without having an understanding of the ground reality. Now, Gule added that Sri Lanka's situation should be made prominent on the global stage. President Rajapaksa noted at this meeting that his only response for those who criticize Sri Lanka would be to visit the country to bear witness.
Up next is Action TV.
Although the town of Ampara was established parallel to the Galloe settlement scheme as a commercial hub founded on agriculture in later years, it had been subject to neglect. In order to mitigate the shortcomings that arose as a result of this neglect in 1980, the Ampara town was selected for the Gam Udava program. Subsequently, for close to 3 decades, the Ampara town also fell under the dark shadow of the war. Following the return of civil administration to the eastern province in 2008, not much weight was placed upon the development of infrastructure facilities in the Ampara town under the Nagani Hiranavodaya program. However, with the decision to hold this year's Dayata Kirula National Development Exhibition in Ampara, the town witnessed hasty and sometimes chaotic development activity. The erecting of street lamps on the 2-kilometer main and by roads in the town certainly shed a light for its citizens. The Ampara Urban Council is tasked with the maintenance of the 60 street lamps that were put up at a cost of 75,000 rupees each. 24 of these LED street lamps are now inactive. The renovation of the roads in the town parallel to the Dayata Kirula exhibition has resulted in major complexity. As a result, it is possible to witness residents in the urban limits using torches when travelling past certain locations in the town. Even the 36 street lamps that are in working condition are only switched on by the urban council for a period of about 2 hours. The Ampara town, which sees sporadic incursions by wild elephants, is also a haven for cattle which roam about freely. Shouldn't inquiries be held to ascertain the reasons behind the shortening of the lifespan of the light that was provided parallel to a festival held to symbolize the benefits of development brought about by peace? Chairman of the Ampara District Development Coordination Committee, this is over to you.
Now, meanwhile, Australia's ABC News reports that up to 5 asylum seekers have died when their boat capsized about 200 kilometers or 120 nautical miles off Christmas Island earlier today.
That's right. And according to reports, the Australian Navy has pulled out 106 survivors from the water after their boat was swamped.
Quoting the Australian Maritime Safety Authority, ABC News reported that up to 5 people remain unaccounted for. The Australian Maritime Safety Authority said that it received a call for help from someone aboard the vessel early today. The Australian Navy's HMAS Parramatta had arrived at the scene and was conducting a rescue operation after reporting the boat had been found. Christmas Island is a frequent destination for refugee boats from Indonesia and a favoured route for people smugglers. According to Reuters, more than 18,000 asylum seekers have arrived in Australian territory since January, prompting Australia to announce all new boat arrivals will be sent to Papua New Guinea or Nauru for processing and resettlement if their refugee claims are accepted.
Over the recent past, a large number of persons have lost their lives undertaking a treacherous boat journey to Australia.
Now, we spoke to journalist Sunil Jayasekara to look into why people undertake this treacherous journey, which may cost their lives.
Sri Lankaවේ සිට විදේශීය රටවලට
The number of Sri Lankan illegal migrants travelling to foreign nations is increasing daily because, in truth, complex problems are arising internationally. They are not going on these dangerous and fatal journeys alone. They are going with their families. They are even taking small children with them. Even if people put themselves in danger, it is unusual to put small children at risk. This shows that these people are taking these steps to escape from social and political factors in this country. But as a country, we are not paying attention to this. We only speak about this on the surface. Therefore, I think that when we do not resolve the socio-political situation in the country and we do not ensure their security and safety within society and within the country, then in truth we are pushing them to flee this country. I do not believe that we can truly resolve this problem until we change this situation.
මිදෙන්න නැත්තම්
Former UNP General Secretary Sirisera Kure notes that J.R. Jayawardena kept the talented close to him in order to make the party victorious.
Kure points out that accordingly, in spite of his personal dislike for R. Premadasa, J.R. Jayawardena kept Premadasa close to him.
Sirisena Kure notes that while R. Premadasa was a leader who succeeded in winning over the people, he also was a leader who kept the talented close to him, regardless of ethnicity, religion or creed.
ඡන්දසටනක්කර නායකයා ජනතාවගේ ප්‍රසාදය දිනාගත් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕන.
A leader who is to contest elections must be a person who has won the praise of the people. He must be a person who can get close to the people. He must be a person who identifies the thoughts and aspirations of the people. He must be a person who can deliver an oration that the people will feel. This is why J.R. Jayawardena selected Premadasa, not because of personal approval. As I said, J.R. Jayawardena kept good and talented people close to him. That was the reason for the victory. If I am to speak of Premadasa, then regardless of who it was, if they were talented, he would keep them close. No matter which party they were from, he would not consider their religion or ethnicity at all. That was his success. When you are running a party, you must keep everyone close. Who is a leader? A leader must be innovative and think of new things. He must put this out there and get them done by delegating to talented individuals. That is leadership. I can remember it like it was today. Colvin R. De Silva told me, Siri, the most talented orator in Sri Lanka today is R. Premadasa.
වෙනක මතකයි කොල්ලින් ආර් ඩි සිල්වා මැතිතුමා මට කිව්වා සිරි අද ලංකාවේ ඉන්න දක්ෂම කතිකයා ආර් ප්‍රේමදාස කියලා. ඡන්දසටනක්කර නායකයා ජනතාවට ලං වෙන්න පුළුවන් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ.
In July, we conducted an SMS and online opinion poll on newsfirst.lk where we asked our viewers whether, as he has in the past, UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe would travel abroad with his closest loyalists prior to the elections. 74% of respondents believed that Ranil Wickremesinghe would travel abroad as usual. 26% of respondents believed that he would not travel abroad. Nevertheless, UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe left the country the day before yesterday. He is not in the nation at present. Any leader must be a leader who knows gratitude. A leader who does not know gratitude will never go right.